Hi there and welcome back. Congratulations for having reached this part of our tutorial. At this part, I'd like to give everyone a token, which is a fresh working copy of the project, which I will store in a GitHub repository and indicate the address below. I know that having reached this tutorial, you must have gathered a lot of source codes, which may bump you into difficulties, especially in assembling the project yourself. So I'm giving you a fresh working copy, which will be indicated in a GitHub repository in the description below. In this episode, I will discuss uh, multi-page report creation. It is a concept that uses the concept also of pagination. Okay, what is pagination? Pagination is a strategy used in the development of REST APIs in order to handle excessive data loading. Excessive data loading happens when your application requests for data from your server that turns out to be very large. It will affect the refresh rate of your browser. To avoid the negative impact of excessive data loading, pagination is used. This means that the server will not give you the whole data set that you're requesting, but it will give you in subsets, no, called pages. That's why it's called pagination. Okay, so if your request will return 100 records, your server may not give you all the 100 records at a time. It will give you subsets of that. For example, in Odoo, pagination is supported by the list view. Okay, like in this case, I have configured our bill to come in pages of 65 records long. Okay, how did I do that? Now, let me show you the code. We have here a list view. Okay, one of the properties is limit. When you say limit, it will give you a page size of 65 in this case. So in our list view, we can only view 65 records at a time in sets of 65 records each. So that's pagination in Odoo. Now, we also have to sync this with our QWeb report because our list views page should have the same size as that of our report page. How did I determine 65? I actually printed a copy of the page, or rather the bill, and found out that 65 records can fit into one page. So I set the page size also of my view to 65. Okay, so I'm going to print the multi-page bill in a different button so you can have a copy of the original bill. Okay, and then I'm going to have a separate XML for the um, multi-page guest bill. We will call it guest bill 2.xml. Now, in terms of large uh, reports, QWeb alone is not enough. You will have to use your Python in order to configure your pages. That's why when printing large reports, you have to settle between XML first or Python first. No, for small reports, you can just use XML first, where you deal with your QWeb right away. But for large reports, you have to do Python first, where you have to configure your page size. Let me show you how I configure my page size, no, to the guest registration.py. Remember that we are getting our bills in a many to one field called room bills. Okay, room bill IDs, like here. No, so room bill IDs can come in a large data set. So therefore, we'll have to indicate the page size for room bills also in Python. How do I do that? I made a function called get room bill pages, and I passed it a parameter of page size equals 65. This will be included in the GitHub project, which I will expose in the link below. So this is actually very simple function. No, it sets the line. No, it returns the lines according to the page size that is set as a parameter of the report, and that's it. Okay, you're able to configure your Python or your Odoo to return room bills in page sizes of 65. Okay, this is not used by the list view. The list view has its own limit. This will be used by our report. So that is pagination. Okay, now let's go to our report. Okay, we will create a guest bill2.xml. Okay. What's the difference between the original report and this one? We are not handling a straight data set. Okay, when we open room bills, we are given a straight data set. We are going to open another one which will create subsets of that data set, okay, by calling the Python function that we have called. So we are going to nest our for each loop into a smaller for loop, which will output the data sets 65 records at a time. And then we will have another loop which will display the contents of the 65 record data set into the data rows of our table. Okay, so let us do that. I have already sort of configured this, so let me just copy some of them. Okay. So this is guest bill 2. Okay, we have that. And of course, at the end, we will have the data and the Odoo. Okay. Okay, so that's the basic contents. Let's just press escape. Okay, escape again. And let's save this. Okay. So we have an ordinary XML. Now we will create the report template. Okay. Okay. And we will compute the running balance, rather set the running balance, which will be printed at every page. Okay, so we have that now. Let's name this report guest bill 2. Okay, because we already have an existing guest bill. Okay, so now we have a 4 docs.t as of which is actually the room bill IDs. Let me just copy that, the record. Okay, the action that will open this, so you will get a copy of what it is. Okay, so this is bill guest bill 2. Okay, so we'll have to rename this. Okay, so it will still use guest registration. So the main docs that we have here is guest registration. Okay, and particularly open room bill IDs, no, when we open this. So this refers to room bill IDs. Okay, and then we will have another on our, okay, we will have a running a nested loop. Okay, okay, a nested loop which will group the docs into 25 records each. Let me explain this. Okay, so we had T for each. This is room bills and SO, and then for each of the docs. Okay, because remember we are assigning it an alias of O. For each of this, we get room bill pages of 65. This is our Python function in get registration.py, get room bill pages, like that. So it will only get room bill pages as a subset of the room bills, and we call each record of this as page lines. Okay, so therefore we will have an ending T here. Okay, and then we'll also have another ending T. Okay, so take note of the nesting. No, we have first the room bills, and we are going to get 55 rows of the room bills every time. Okay, because of the nesting. Okay, now let me copy the web page which we have which we have used before. I will explain this or describe this myself. No, we will start with a div class page. Okay. Before we forget, we need another T, because this is the ending T tag for this loop. This is the ending T tag, and then yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll need 4 ending T's. Okay, before we end template. Good thing that it does it for us. Okay, because what I'm going to do is just to copy the contents that we had before in our page. Okay, I'm going to copy it inside this because that's what we had. Okay, and let's go back. Okay, so our page will get 65 records at a time. Okay, and our record will, this is the same set of records which we've done in our previous report. So we'll have a header which will display the header line, and it's a double line, so it will have a line above and a line below. So this will display the account titles. That's our T head. A T head, by the way, is automatically repeated as part of the page header. And in our body, okay, in our body, we are going to set the page totals and uh, the total balance. Okay, and then we have another third nested loop, because our second nested loop is a group of 65. Our third nested loop will be each line of the 65 for each page lines. Remember, we have called this page lines. So for each of the page lines, we are going to call it a line. Okay, that's one of the main differences that we didn't have in our previous report. Okay, so what we are going to do as usual is to set our increment our page totals, and then also increment our page running balance. We call it G running balance, and then output our previous records. Okay, this is similar to the previous code that we had before. No, we are going to output a table record. Okay, with 11 columns. Okay, I have explained this before. So we have line number, we have date applied, document type, document number, and then we have the state, the debit amount, credit amount. Okay, amount applied, by the way, is there also, and then we have the difference amount. Okay, so this is the main TR. So this is a table row. Okay, this is our table row. We'll set it a height of 15 pixels. Okay, and this is the end of the T for each loop. Okay, and the end of our T body, we have a TR which has a T head. The T head will automatically be part of our page header. The TR will be part of our main body. And we have an end table, and we have an end body, and we have an end table. Now outside the table, we'll put the repeating page footer. Okay, the repeating page footer will also have its own header. Okay, it only needs a header. It prints the page total. Okay, the page total, and for both the debit and the credit columns. Let me show you that. That's the P total credit and P total debit. Okay, and then for the running balance, for the total balance, we are formatting it to be in accounting format. Okay, so it will be enclosed in parentheses if it's negative, and it will just be printed normally if it's positive. Okay, so this is printed in the footer line. How do we know that? Because it's after the table. Okay, this will be part of the repeating footer. I think we have done this before. So there are two rows in our repeating footer. First, the page total, and the second row is the running balance. Okay, and if you take note, no, uh, in each of the body we are incrementing the total debit and the total credit. Okay, but what happened to the other? Okay, we must find a way to initialize them. Okay, where did we initialize it? Let me look for my backup, which I have. Okay, so anyway, it will be for they will be for initialized because in our T body, okay, we have initialized them to 0. Okay, in our T body we have initialized them to 0 at the start. So in each repetition, okay, of the T body, okay, they will be initialized. We have this, uh, and then we have this special section, okay, uh, to do a page break after this uh, footer is printed. Okay, I hope you follow. No, it's very important. Anyway, I'll post the source code, or rather this, in the GitHub repository which I've described. So anyway, after getting all the room bills, we get them into groups of 65, and each page line we group of the 65, we use the loop in order to be part of our main body. Okay, I hope this compiles. No, let's run this. Okay. If there's a anyway, if there's a missing tag, we will vibe code. Okay, let's go to apps. I've already included guest bill 2 in the manifest.py. So, okay. And also included it in the function, rather in the action. So surprisingly, there's no error. So let's go there and let's try to print. Okay, let's print this. There's no error also. Let's open this. Now we have this. No, look at that. Okay, we have the lines in the pages in 65 uh, records each, and we have the page totals which are working because this is handled by Python, not by QWeb. And then we have that running balance. We'll look at the end. We have the same running balance. Okay, so surprisingly we have it correct. Now the next thing that we need to do is to put uh, our page header. Okay, so that will not be very difficult to do. We'll just open our backup, and then uh, how this is done. We are just going to call, okay, the same page header. Okay, the same page header which we had before. We had a copy of it, no, in our original guest bill, so we'll just copy it. So there it is. No, we'll copy this and put this in guest bill 2 after the T for each. Yes, after this. Okay, we'll save this. Run, and then we'll update. Okay, let's open the bill again. Okay, let's print the multi-page. I hope there's no error. There's none. So it's loading. Let's open this. Now we have the header. Now our report specific page header. Anyway, it's a long report specific page header. So we'll use a different approach this time. we will compartmentalize our report by putting it in another template. Okay, the same as we did in our first header. Okay, so I have created a guest bill bill header XML. Okay, so I have made another template called bill header, which contained our second header before, if you remember. No, so this is the same contents which I've copied here, and I've included it in our manifest.py, like here. So we have bill header, okay, and we have guest bill 2. Now bill header should be declared first because it's being used in guest bill 2. Okay, I hope you follow. Now, where will we put it in our guest bill 2? Inside the body. This time, now do not put it inside the header because it won't work anymore. This is multi-page, remember, okay? So, let's go to our, what's the name of our bill header? We'll say bill headers, okay? Therefore, we're just going to copy this. There's no parameter set to it. Okay? It should be inside the page, no? Now, having declared this before the table, okay, so it will be part of the header because it's before the table. So we call it bill header. So this is a very important approach because this will simplify our code and also make our report easier to manage. I hope you follow. No? So I have transferred my report specific page header to a file called bill header. Okay, so that's why I'm calling it here like this. And let me update. I hope there's no error. Let's go back to our hotel system in Odoo. Let's set the developer mode on as usual. There's the debugger icon. So we'll go to our hotel and then upgrade. Okay, there's no error. I hope there's no error during the printout. Let's print this. There's no error. I hope it prints properly. Let's open this. So we now have our report specific page header. Okay, do you follow? So I hope you found the point. No, we did not only explain or use the pagination technique. We also use the compartmentalization of our report by creating them or separating them in a separate template. Okay, so I'll give you a prize, a token of appreciation, which is a working copy of the project to be indicated in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. In the next episode, we are going to create a new report, a multi-page report that is derived from an SQL request. This time we are not going to use a simple model, but we are going to use a complicated SQL statement with a select statement joining several tables. Okay. Thanks for watching and bye for now.